So then they hear something and they're just gonna attack that thing in the middle of it all because it doesn't make sense to them. Because they are because they hear this single one word that just set them off. It's like saying religion in some places, or Jesus, or whatever, you know. Some people are just like, oh, he took God's name in vanity, or someone's thinking, oh, he's gonna talk about religion now, and I don't want to listen to this Jesus freak, and stuff like this. And it's like, well, look, this guy Jesus, or this thing religion, is one of the most talked about things, so it would be most natural to talk in terms that everyone understand, rather than going into talking about Hans Christian over on the corner in my city, in the country I live in, thousands of miles away from you. You know what I mean? It's like you would all of a sudden start thinking about how is he as a background, where does he come from, what kind of a person is he, and all sort of stuff. And when you're saying Jesus, well, most people in this world know that Jesus, as you're seeing Jesus just in the Bible, is trying to get out a good message. But if people are saying, oh, Jesus in the Bible is also God and it's everything, so rah, 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 and this guy over there said that God is killing people if they're not behaving, and this guy over there said God is, even though they're not talking about the same God or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? This guy said that if you do this, then you go to hell, and I don't like this Jesus guy. Whoa, I mean, sure, you can take things out of context and take everything everyone says about Jesus and think that is all how Jesus is, or whatever. But that doesn't mean that's how Jesus is. All it means is that you misinterpreted the understanding of whatever was going on in that sense. For instance, me, when I'm talking about some of the things that I'm talking about, like forgiveness, for instance, I understand why you need to forgive someone else, because if you're not forgiving that person, you're going to keep that wrong image of them in your head. And no matter how much they try to show you they're not a bad person, they're not a mean person, you will see anything that they're doing as mean. You will see even when they're coming and giving you an animal or something. Oh, so now you think I'm gonna go waste money on food for a pet? Huh? You don't even think I have enough, or you don't even know I don't have enough money for myself, and you're not even seeing it as in they thought you wanted a present because you seemed rather down, and a pet seems to cheer people up, and you know what I mean? It's like, no, it doesn't matter. If you see that guy as mean, you're fucking gonna take everything he does as a mean person. And in that, you're fucked because of that image. You need to change that image. And that's what I'm basically trying to speak about in this situation. Okay, I think I lost what I was coming from because I was giving this example. But I think I have spoken in terms that it's possible to understand, and you can, whether you think so or not, you can extract what I'm saying from what I have said so far. So I think I'm just not gonna go more into that, since I don't know what the fuck I was talking about and can't pause this shit and go back and see. Anyway, I could actually make a new video and add it on this. I think I'll do that. Okay. Okay, so back on track. See, the thing is that when you are saying something and people are putting certain notations on those words, like if you're saying Jesus and they're hearing all these things I was just describing, instead of just hearing here is another person described in history that is also trying to say some of the things that I'm speaking of. And if you know this guy, maybe it's easier for you to hear me as speaking in those terms so that you have an easier time understanding what I'm saying than if I start speaking in terms of something else, like all of a sudden I put everything I'm saying in negativity. See, I think that I understand what I'm speaking of to such an extent that it doesn't matter to me if I'm speaking of it in positivity or in negativity or in neutrality. I can fit what I'm saying into this is the way that you should look at it. If you're looking at it in that perspective, meaning that here, if you want to see this thing as positive, then here, this is what you should do. Here, if you want to see this thing as negative, then this is what you should do. And this is how you get more negativity out of it. And if you want to see this in neutrality, this is how you should see things. And this is how everything is. When things are neutral, it's like rare, and I feel like I can see that, not as in I can understand everything, I am good and stuff like that, but in whatever I know, I can put and explain to you in terms of negative, positive, or in the middle. Because I understand what it is, and I understand positive, and I understand neutral, and I understand negative. So in that sense, it's sometimes actually hard for me to decide which one to pick, because I can go fluently between everything as I feel like, but it has an effect, because as I was speaking of before, when someone is saying Jesus, some people are hearing and not really this guy that is trying to make you see the world in a way that you will understand what's going on and not be caught up in these personal ghosts or illusions of what's actually going on. And in that sense, I think we are today living in a society where things are going so fast, and you can get to a very destructive place very fast. So therefore we need to make sure that people are understanding these principles, or like, let's say that I can't remember what that thing is, but there's something called CERN down in Germany or near France, Switzerland, Austria, and stuff like this. And they made this real big, I think it's called a Colledron Hydra or Colledry hydronator or something, it doesn't really matter, but this huge thing where they want to try and create small black holes. And you see, if you had a better understanding of what you were doing, you wouldn't do that shit, you know what I mean? You wouldn't go and make the atom bomb, because you would know instantly that some fool is going to use that atom bomb. And it's like, yeah, it's not just going to be a deterrent. It's not just going to be something theoretical. It's not just going to be something that you can build your complete understanding from. No, it's a weapon of destruction, or it's something negative that you're researching. So of course negativity is going to come out of it. You cannot expect to make stuff and then just expect that this is only used for good purposes. This is only used by good people. This is only reaching, and no one will ever figure out how to use a butter knife to kill anyone. I mean, you see what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter how you twist and turn things. Nothing is positive, nothing is negative, everything is neutral. And people will just use it for what they want. So, if you're thinking it is possible to use this for really bad things and you don't want that, then don't put it out. It's that simple. But then again, you're going to break the world or put the world on pause, not break as in, but you're going to break the world from getting to anywhere, put a break in the world or whatever the fuck it's called. And yeah, I think if there is anything creating this